masses are going to go through every ailment there is. You can't be worrying about that, because if we can keep worrying about the trouble that the masses are in, we never cultivate anything among ourselves to get to the high level in which the masses going to be a part of. Because ultimately, all this shit got to be destroyed. This shit is over.
I am inevitable.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen.
We live with another one, y'all.
Come on in. Make sure y'all come on in.
Get into this.
And go ahead and double tap that screen and like the video, because we got another hot topic we gotta get into. We gotta break this down.
Man. We do.
We gotta break it down and show y'all, what's really going on. Gotta show y'all pattern, because
they're about to fake another pandemic.
Yeah, it looks like they're about to try to shut the world down again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they look like they're trying to gear up to shut the world down again. So we, and we peeping.
We on it.
Yeah, we seeing how they're using the same pattern that they use with the COVID-19. Same pattern, y'all. And y'all, it's gonna blow your mind when y'all see this, because y'all gonna be like, hey, why is they? But we gonna break it all down, and it's been talked since when COVID happened, and the world was shut down, everybody was going through the process. And then you had these people coming out speaking, these Bill Gates, Fauci individuals. They always talked about another pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
They always spoke and said, yeah,
Biden.
Biden. Oh yeah, Biden. It's a lot of them.
It's gonna be another pandemic.
We're gonna have another pandemic. And I don't know. This Hantavirus thing going on right now. The media, we see in the media pretty much, pumping this out over and over again, and they saying it's 3 deaths, and people reporting from the ship. It's like a ship.
Another cruise ship, y'all.
Yeah, there's a cruise ship stuck out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean right now. Big cruise ship with like 130 some people on there. They said 3 people done died on that ship. But we're gonna get into it. Let me go ahead and pull this up.
Let's pull it up.
Let me go ahead and pull it up for y'all.
It's like a rerun of 2019.
It sure is.
Because you remember COVID-19 started on a cruise ship. So it's like a rerun. Pattern recognition.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing here.
Let's not be fooled.
That's what we seeing here. So let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. Make sure y'all double tap the screen and like the video while y'all coming up in the chat. While y'all coming up in the chat. All right, let me pull this up. All right, hold on. What we doing there? Yeah, this is spooky how they using the same pattern though. This is like blow my mind, because I ain't really I didn't recollect when the COVID first, when the patient 0 was reported in the media. I didn't remember that until bro brought it up, and he said he was on the ship. I said, hold on, the ship. Isn't this like the same, same playbook? This is the same playbook. All right, so hold on, y'all. Trying to pull this up. I don't know if I'm delaying. Am I delaying? Gotta make sure I ain't delaying to get over here.
I thought I was delaying because
yeah, I think I'm delaying.
Kind of slow.
Yeah, I think I'm delaying a little bit. Let us know we good, y'all. For y'all that's listening tuned in, let us know we good on the audio. I think I'm delaying a little bit. I was delaying yesterday. All right, so this is reported today by
slowing our connection down, y'all. They don't want us releasing.
Oh, we're gonna get this information out, even if we have to go over to Rumble. That's a good name. Make sure y'all, sign up to our Rumble too. Go over there and subscribe to our Rumble. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely do that.
9 Day Network on Rumble. We gotta be adamant about pushing that link again, because just in case anything happen over here, that's where we'll be. Where it's going to continue. So let's continue. So CBS Morning just reported this maybe a few hours ago. So this is like the latest update on that. So let's get into it.
Quarantine off West Africa is now expected to go to Spain's Canary Islands after 2 people with the dangerous Hantavirus are airlifted off the ship. 3 passengers have died. Health officials now say the illness may have spread between passengers. Tom Hansen has more from an American on board.
We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people with families, with lives.
Jake Rossmarin is one of 150 passengers, including more than a dozen Americans stuck on board the MV Hondius cruise ship. This morning, the World Health Organization said the ship will continue to Spain's Canary Islands after 2 passengers with the dangerous hantavirus are medically evacuated. The cruise ship is currently off the coast of the West African nation of Cape Verde.
All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home.
7 passengers are believed to have gotten hantavirus. 3 have died, and 1 person who is critically ill has already been hospitalized. The cruise set sail from Argentina more than 4 weeks ago on a journey to remote locations, including a visit to Antarctica. But the suspected hantavirus outbreak, which is typically spread through contact with rodents, has left them stranded.
They were doing, a lot of things with wildlife. So our assumption is they were infected off the boat and then joined the cruise.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Tom Hansen.
All right, so let's talk about this with medical correspondent Dr. Selene Gounder. She is also editor-at-large for public health at KFF Health News. Dr. Gounder, good morning. For those who may remember, the hantavirus was a contributing factor in the death of Gene Hackman's wife. So what is it, and how do you get infected?
So hantavirus is a family of viruses that infect rodents, so rats and mice. You get infected usually by breathing dust that has been contaminated by rodent droppings or urine. I think I need to emphasize this is exceedingly rare. There have been fewer than 900 cases over 30 years in the United States. Now, we know there have been at least 3 deaths related to this particular cluster. As we said, 2 people airlifted, at least 1 person in the ICU in South Africa. And there are additional people who are currently being tested.
So it spreads from person to person?
Well, rarely. So there's a particular form of hantavirus called Andes virus, which spreads in Argentina and Chile. And so this cruise ship took off from Argentina, which is why we're wondering, is it the usual kind, or is it a kind that can be transmitted person to person? Now, the biggest outbreak of that was in 2018 in Argentina, involving 34 cases, 11 people died. So it's quite a high case fatality rate. But I think it's important, again, to emphasize that this is a virus that requires prolonged close contact. This is not a pandemic kind of virus.
How can you protect yourself from it?
So cleaning. If you're going to be cleaning droppings, other kinds of things related to rodent contamination, you want to have a respirator, gloves. You don't want to be sweeping or vacuuming because that can kick up the dust. Use watered down bleach to help it settle. They're also going to have to investigate the cruise ship. What's the source? Who, getting the testing done? How was it transmitted? And this is really the work of public health agencies like the CDC that's been gutted, and we've pulled out of WHO. So we're a little bit, caught flat-footed here.
Got you. Dr. Gounder, thank you.
So there you have it. So you have a
suspected hantavirus outbreak on a cruise ship in the...
So you got to think about this. So this hantavirus thing killed maybe 50-something people back in 2025, I believe. 2025, or let me get my math right to make sure. All right, so the hantavirus infection are rare but highly fatal, 35% to 40% mortality rate. All right, so in America, the U.S. cases sporadic, typically resulting in a few deaths annually. So my thing is, so America experienced 229 deaths or cases. My bad, 229 cases resulted to 59 deaths. And this was last year. So what makes this important this year for them to make it mainstream media? Because people, it seems like this is like a typical thing that people die from, you know, all around the world, like 100,000 to 200,000 people a year. So why now? Why is it getting so much media attention now? Makes you want to ask the question. So we ain't gonna. We got more. Let me pull this up because we got to get the people that reporting from the ship now. They got the camera crew up in the ship now. So let's go ahead and switch over.
One more connection though. One more connection. They saying that the Hantavirus is caused by rats.
Yeah,
the
rodents. Yeah, my
coronavirus
bad. Yeah,
is caused by
right.
bats.
Bats. Right.
Both started on a cruise ship. Both started on a cruise ship. COVID-19 started on a cruise ship called the Diamond Princess.
So, I wanted to get. When we pull that up,
let's keep that in mind. No, we can wait, but just let them have the mental note of the pattern that we're recognizing when they about to pull off another scamdemic, because that's what we getting to, and we about to prove it to y'all.
Yeah,
so please stick around.
This pattern here, this is all right. So let me switch over. All right, so this is them reporting from inside the ship. They got few people going around with their little camera phones from within inside the ship. So let's go ahead and get in. This is global news. Let's get into this real quick.
No sound.
No sound. All right, let me share this. All right, let me
now. Is this is from COVID-19 one or current? Because this look like this is the one from COVID-19. That's the one from the Diamond Princess.
This is the one from Diamond Princess. Hold on. Okay.
Now the other guy, was the one from the
up. Yeah, he's the one I wanted to pull up. Right. All right, here we go. This is him right here.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
On board the MV Hondius, and what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it. I just ask for your kindness and understanding. I am currently on board the MV Hondius.
Let that play one more time.
And what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it. I just ask for your kindness and understanding. I am currently...
All right, this guy has to be a crisis actor. I mean, buddy, you're sitting up there whimpering while you trying to... We're just trying to get home. No tears. You over there crying like Erica Kirk, bro. Like no tears, no nothing. We gotta get home. We're just trying to, and remind you, it's real people behind this. When you see it in the headlines, like, why do we need to know all that?
This confirms. Now we know what the crisis actors look like.
Right.
This guy is definitely a C-list actor.
Yeah, he's bad
definitely
at it.
A C-list, and it's bad. It's bad acting.
The script is bad.
Now, I wonder how much the Who paid this guy to go up there on the news and do this little scene that he did.
And you think it was the World Health Organization? They paying paid actors to go in there and give them a little line, give them a little script. But this line right here sticks out to me more than anything, though. Hold on.
There are people behind it. I just
remember there are real people behind this. Like, who would say that, bro? Who would say that in a real virus health scare in the middle of people dying and you stuck in the middle of the sea? Who would say, remember, there are real people behind this?
And then talking about headlines. This is we're more than just headlines. Now, mind you, this is perfect right now because you remember Trump just removed the United States from the WHO, from the World Health Organization.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to think about it. This is the type of friction that they need right now. This is the exact type of friction that they need to pull off another fake scamdemic. And
Absolutely.
then the thing is, the beef between Trump pulling us out of the World Health Organization and the NIH. Perfect time. Right after he pulled us out of those organizations, now all of a sudden, we getting another pandemic that started off exactly like the coronavirus did.
Let me pull
aboard
that
a
up.
cruise ship.
Let me pull that up because y'all gotta understand what we saying here. Y'all gotta understand what we are saying here. All right. All right. Okay, where's the video at? Let me pull this video up. Is this it right here?
The pattern is so obvious.
The pattern is very obvious.
You could go to the other actors that was on the cruise ship in 2019 when the COVID broke out. Those were more crisis actors. Like that's how they do it. When they about to pull off a major event, you know it's scripted. First of all, you know it's scripted as soon as it hit the mainstream. The mainstream media is there just so they can basically pull off these major false flag events.
Right.
And they get the actors involved. And most of them are like C-list actors that you will never see in real movies, but they keep them around just in case they need someone on the news to basically tell the story or the narrative that these organizations want to paint to the people. And it's usually, you can see the pattern because they use the same script. They just copy and paste it. In 2019, they said patient 0 of the coronavirus was on Diamond Princess cruise ship. His name was Mr. Wu, like Mr. Wuhan. And they said that the coronavirus came from bats. And now you fast forward to 2026. According to these reports, the Hantavirus is on a basically patient 0 is on a cruise ship, and instead of bats, they use rats. The disease or the virus is transferred through rats. So they just copy and paste the same scenarios. That's all they do. They copy and paste the same scenarios and they launch it out there and they just keep basically beating it into our head. And once New York Times pick it up, Time Magazine, once all those big companies pick it up, that's how you know it's another scamdemic that they about to pull off.
Yeah, we need everybody to double tap the screen right now. Like this video if you're on the vertical, if you're on the horizontal. Please like this video and share this out. We're trying to get this definitely in the algorithm. This is from the 2020 outbreak, right? So now we fast forward. We in 2026, and they're claiming a virus where people are stuck in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on a cruise ship and now 22, we're gonna rewind it back to 2020. The same pattern style outbreak. Someone was on a ship, on a cruise ship, and virus off the coast. This is 2020, y'all. Fast forward 2026, there's another cruise ship with a virus outbreak. So we trying to show y'all the same pattern here. All right, because we're going to show y'all more of them talking about another pandemic. So we're gonna get into that too, but we trying to break this down for y'all. Same thing that's happening right now with the other ship right now that's in the middle of the Atlantic right now, where they said 3 dead from the virus. So
Hantavirus. Yep, Hantavirus.
So right now we just showing y'all a pattern. This is from 2020, I believe, where same script.
Scenarios, yep, same script, yep.
Same script.
Different actors.
Right here. This shows you that what's going on now, with the Hantavirus. where there is people stuck on the ship right now as we speak. Stuck on the ship right now as we speak. 100 and something, I think 130 something people. They already recorded it was 3 deaths already. So they already had like some ships come through and remove the dead bodies off the ship and left the remaining people on, and basically quarantine them. So we just trying to show y'all a pattern here with the same thing. Let me switch over here because this is another video from 2020 from the cruise ship. This is more you know uh, up and close and personal footage of people from the coronavirus when they were stuck on the ship. And, bro, would you say crisis actors 101?
Gone and
Pretty
Crisis
much.
actors.
Get going.
Bye.
Okay. Here we go.
It is insane, bro.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Here you go, hon.
Let me get this other video too.
Beautiful.
Did they end our stream?
They did? Nah,
I
they
think so.
did it. From what?
Yeah.
Nah, it's still on. I see it. We good, y'all? We still on?
Are you sure?
We still all right. Somebody said we good. Yeah, we good. Somebody said we lost the horizontal screen. What? Yeah, the horizontal suspended for violation. That's the horizontal screen. Suspended for violation of what? They don't want to get this
Wow.
information out. They do not want this information to come out. Y'all is some haters.
That's
Haters.
crazy. That's crazy.
Haters.
We might have to continue this on Rumble.
Yeah, they some haters. Haters. They said nope, not on this one. All
Then they
right, oh, it's
suspended
back up.
our other stream.
I think it's back up now.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Hold on. Nah, hold on. I thought it was back up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, telling the truth is a policy violation. Right.
Yeah, it's back on. It's back on. Telling, yep, it's back up. So did they get us for the video or it was? Let me see. What they say, a policy violation? Did they?
Yeah, the John shut down on my end. Yeah, it has shut down.
Yeah.
They messing with our streams, y'all.
I feel like bats when he's riding through or do the right. Don't be fucking with the water there. When he's riding through, or do the right thing. When he's riding through with the caddy and they was playing with the water. Yeah, don't be effing with our stream. Like, yeah, man, don't be fucking with our stream over here. They don't want us to get the information out. Yo, that's what I'm saying. Drop the Rumble link, man, just in case, cause they
Yeah,
hating on
I know. I did drop that. I'm gonna drop it again.
Yeah, drop the Rumble link.
I mean, if y'all could just type in Night and Day Network LLC Rumble too. Rumble.com also. So remember that, because I don't know if we on the vertical stream. I don't think they could click on the link.
Yeah.
But this is telling y'all right here. Y'all know that. Y'all know what we saying is the truth. That they start messing with our stuff when we start speaking the truth. We literally showing y'all the connection. Like they if they try to pull off another scamdemic, bro, it's not going to work out for them. It's going to be really bad for them. Because it's just too many people that know the truth now. It's way too many people that know the truth.
Right.
It's way too many people. They was able to pull it off the first time, but this second time ain't gonna go too well for them.
All right. They try and hate on our stream. Hate.
Like we said, coronavirus started off on a cruise ship. Now the Hantavirus is starting off. And that news article we just watched, that was like reality TV. You see how they write the scripts out like reality TV. They get us used to watching reality TV, and when they want to pull some big scamdemic off, they're going to put it in reality TV format. You see, they had the music
reality TV
in the
format.
back. They had
Right.
they had even the same type of cameras that they use for reality TV. Like
Mhm.
that's exactly how. That's how you know it's a propaganda piece. Now we about to do the Hantavirus propaganda piece. They saying that the COVID-19 came from bats. Well, this one came from rats.
This one came from
Bats
rats.
and rats. Bats and rats.
Bats and rats.
Started on a cruise ship. Reality TV style when they present it to us. Reality TV style.
We're gonna put some bats to the rats.
And they what the hell did they mess with our stream for? They messing with our stream. We ain't saying nothing. What we saying is what it is. We showing actual documented proof.
Like we just showing y'all media what the media put out there.
Yeah, we
This
showing
was
y'all what the
reported in
media
the
put out
media.
there, and we commentating on it. Right.
Yeah. But anyway, let's continue because we still got
Let's continue.
Gates, Mr. Gates here.
Let's continue.
Yep. So
And we know they plan these pandemics, and they let us know. They was telling us all along, right after COVID-19, there's going to be another pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. How you know it's going to be a pandemic? Well, we know how you know. Yeah, you got to reshare that, John. You know how you know.
Because they said it.
Know.
Yeah.
And it's so convenient. It's so convenient because Trump just removed us from the World Health Organization. Let's keep that in mind.
Sure did. He damn sure did. All right. Let's get into this real quick.
So I probably put bioterror, which is a really awful. And it won't be the last pandemic. The next one could be far more severe. And it won't be the last pandemic. The next one could be far more severe.
Meet Bill Gates, ex-computer geek turned virologist / infectious disease expert without a medical degree. You just have a trough full of money to pay people off, to make them believe he's a medical doctor. Why is it that this guy always know about the next pandemic? And why does he always have the so-called solution to the pandemic? And that solution always makes him billions of dollars. The same guy that would infect your computer with viruses and own the company that sell you the antivirus software to combat it.
You've become the subject of a boatload of conspiracy theories, especially around COVID. Where does this come from? How do you explain vaccine skepticism? And where do you lay the blame for the way these theories and attacks come at you?
I couldn't believe, the craziness, and Robert Kennedy was part of promoting some of these things. He wrote a book about how Fauci he said, kill millions to make money. I give billions to save millions, not the other way around. And so a little bit you have to have a sense of humor about what the heck. Why were people under so much pressure for oversimplistic explanations? And, the vaccine came in and, saved millions and millions of lives. The next pandemic could be 10 times as fatal as this one was. In the US, because these infectious diseases don't come into the country much at all and kids are well nourished, you can have a laxity in vaccine coverage that is dangerous, but you don't see the problem, for quite some time. The pandemic, sadly, was fairly predictable, and it won't be the last pandemic. The next one could be far more severe. I mean, this one, it killed millions. It was awful. We got the vaccine. Actually, President Trump's leadership was a factor in getting that out quickly. And so I when I spoke to him, I said, okay, here's some other medical innovations, including a thing called an HIV cure that could be accelerated. So, we should be more prepared, both for a pandemic. I'd say that's still number one.
The Gates Foundation has documented the economic catastrophe that COVID-19 has produced. Bill, what if the recovery out of this catastrophe is K-shaped, which is to say one half of industry and society emerging from the pandemic strong and possibly stronger than before, and the other half weaker and falling further?
Look at that disgusting grin.
Well, as long as the disease is out there, things like tourism, restaurants, a lot of small businesses will be disproportionately affected, whereas office workers, where the virtual connections has actually meant that their loss of productivity is actually quite modest, they'll continue to have their job and be able to be fairly productive. And so the inequity of this, whether it's between citizens in the country, blue collar versus white collar, blacks experiencing a higher sickness rate than others. Poor countries can't borrow money and spend money like the US and other rich countries have. So almost every dimension of inequity has been accentuated here. And that just takes us back to, we've got to bring this thing to a close. And then you can have the tourism and the travel and the sports and the variety of things, get back to where we were before this.
Bill Gates consistently, he keeps going on podcasts warning there will be another pandemic, and he says this time it's going to be a bioterror attack.
So I'd probably put bioterror, which is a really awful.
So they're going to admit it comes from a lab this time.
Don't be surprised if we find ourselves in the middle of a new pandemic, this time caused by bioterrorism, according to Mr. Gates. This Trump and Iran war would be the perfect scenario for them to set up a bio attack, especially in the USA. As tensions rise along with Trump threatening to blow up Iran, who's to say they might slip in a quick false flag attack and release something into the environment and...
blame it on the Muslims, naturally.
Yep, that's what they do. Blame it on the Muslims, naturally. The media like to go on about Iran's bioterror capabilities anyway.
They have 5 high-level laboratories, or at least 5 high-level laboratories in and around Tehran that are highly suspected of producing biological agents and producing biological weapons, or at least those agents for biological weapons. When all the bombing started, I don't know that the United States or Israel said, we're going to take those out. If you look at some of what we're seeing now, it looks like they did, but if it wasn't intentional, if it wasn't truly targeted, then we have a whole biosafety, biosecurity situation going on. What's being released from buildings that are partially down? HVAC systems are gone now. Are they moving things? Are they not moving things? What is happening? And if we consider the possibility of moving soldiers into these areas, military personnel into these areas, now we have a whole another thing. How are we protecting those soldiers if we don't even know what was in those buildings in the first place?
From all the wars and all the rumors of wars, the economy is down to its knees. American citizens are struggling more than they ever have. The prices of everything is going up. We got all types of threats from all different types of directions, but the biggest threat is the United States government itself. That is the American citizens' biggest threat right now, is its own government.
So Bill Gates, man, he been on the second pandemic wave ever since the first pandemic started. He was promoting the second pandemic. Would there be another? Yeah, there would be another pandemic. Like, so what they think the people are supposed to, you think it's gonna pan out the same? No pun intended. Do they think
They
it's gonna
said they
pan
said
out the
Bill
same
Gates
way?
made they said Bill Gates made $30 billion off of COVID-19.
Yeah,
30 billion.
yeah. He made
He
it for
made
him and
$30
his
billion dollars.
yeah, for him and his corporate cronies. Yeah, yeah.
So not only do they get to bring the American economy down to its knees, people like him also get to make billions and billions of dollars. Because that's what this is going to do. You got to think about it. We're in the middle of a war right now with Iran. Gas prices are crazy right now. Grocery prices are crazy. The economy is collapsing. We $39 trillion in debt. The thing that's going to add the icing on the cake is another pandemic that will completely obliterate the whole global economy, especially the United States. And it's like we're not mad enough. It's like what's going on, and you could clearly see that it's all orchestrated. You could clearly see that most of this is orchestrated. We see the patterns. We see them constantly talking about a new pandemic. This guy loves a new he would love a new pandemic. He made $30 billion in the last pandemic. A guy like this would probably do something to make sure another pandemic happened. Something involving rats. Something involving rats. Just put it all together. This guy would love another pandemic. He made $30 billion off the first one. Like,
I
how are
mean,
we not
right.
seeing this yet?
And the thing is, he has a deposition coming up about his involvement with Jeffrey Epstein coming up in June. Yeah. So yeah, don't leave that off the table now. The Epstein files are still a thing. I mean, no matter what they trying to push in the media to distract us, that our government and people from our government and corporations was involved with sex trafficking and and whatever they trying to do to distract us from that as well. No.
War and another pandemic would definitely distract people from the Epstein shit.
Yep.
They used the pandemic for the first time because you gotta remember, Epstein was arrested again for all the trafficking in
2019.
2019,
Yeah, he
and the
was arrested in
pandemic happened
2019.
right after Epstein got arrested. So they was using a pandemic to cover up the Epstein shit then, and they about to do another repeat. They about to cover
Yep.
up more of the Epstein stuff because people are outraged. People have been calling these government offices every day, all day about we want the Epstein client list. We want the people who's responsible for all those victims. We want them arrested. We want them in jail. And the people the people in Washington are panicking because a lot of them are on the Epstein list. A lot of them are on the Epstein list, and they feel like if we let the real files come out, it would be a threat to national security. That's their
Right.
mindset. The people's mindset, like, we don't give a shit what's a threat to national security. We want these creeps out of power because we know they still out there human trafficking. So you got that going on, and we know Trump and his buddies are definitely in those files. So they really want to cover this stuff up. So that's why you see him invading Venezuela, threatening Greenland, threatening Cuba, bombing up Iran, the whole strait, making sure the Strait of Hormuz is closed, so gas prices go up. Now they trying to put a pandemic in the middle of it. All this as a distraction at the same time, bring the global economy down to its knees so they can bring in the new digital economy
All
where
right, but
everything's tracked, chipped, and traced.
to stay on the Epstein Bill Gates thing too, because mind you, the documents came out. When the files came out, Epstein was linked to meeting. Jeffrey Epstein was meeting with Bill Gates behind the COVID-19 thing. So let me read this off. So recent releases of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein have renewed scrutiny of the connection of Bill Gates, though claims linking the meetings directly to the creation of COVID-19 are part of the broader set conspiracies, right? So pandemic simulations. So documents showed that 2017, years before COVID, 19, it says Bill Gates' private office listed the strain pandemic simulations as a technical deliverable which was forwarded to Epstein. So Bill Gates has acknowledged meetings with Epstein between 2011 and 2013, primarily because Epstein claimed that he could raise money for global health, but Gates has stated that it was a huge mistake. So he was meeting with Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Gates was meeting with Jeffrey Epstein. So the COVID-19 thing with the documents that came out linking Bill Gates and Epstein together. Yeah, they call it a simulated
About a global pandemic.
Strain pandemic simulation. That's what they called it. That's what it's listed as, a strain pandemic simulation. So they met in 2017
to talk about a pandemic.
Right.
And then right afterwards, Epstein gets arrested, and then a pandemic happens, and Bill Gates makes $30 billion off of it.
Yeah.
Do y'all see? Do y'all see what's going on here? So Bill Gates and Epstein, through their emails, it's all in Epstein files. Y'all can look it up. It's public record. Was talking about a global pandemic and a particular virus strain that can basically be sent around the world, and it'll cause a global pandemic. And they sending emails back and forth around 2017 about this global pandemic. 2 years later, the pandemic actually happens. Epstein goes to jail, and Bill Gates have this magical vaccine that he funded that everybody believes in. Fauci, the NIH, World Health Organization, everybody believes in this magical vaccine. Bill Gates makes $30 billion off the vaccine. And now here we are today, him basically saying there's going to be another pandemic. And then what do we have? Another pandemic brewing in the same way that the coronavirus did. In the same way, started off on a cruise ship. They said that the coronavirus came from bats, but the hantavirus started off on a cruise ship, and they saying that came from rats.
All right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and this guy probably already got a vaccine for the hantavirus. Oh, I bet you.
All right.
If we see a vaccine within the next, if we see an outbreak, and they start shutting everything down, and a couple of months later we see another vaccine, and this guy is backing it, we know for sure 100% that it's scripted, and that this guy's just in the vaccine business, and the shit don't really help anybody. You know damn well those damn things don't help nobody. People were still getting sick, but this guy still made $30 billion, and he worked with Epstein. Come on.
When is this guy's deposition? All right, so his deposition is scheduled for June 10th. Okay, so Bill Gates is scheduled for his deposition with the House on June 10th about his involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. They doing whatever they can do to try to cover this shit up.
That's a crazy ass connection, bro. This dude was literally talking about a global pandemic back and forth with Epstein, bro.
Yeah, it said
Bill Gates and Epstein talking about a global pandemic in 2017, y'all. Are y'all not hearing this shit? Epstein and Bill Gates talking about a global pandemic in 2017, then it actually happens in 2019. And this guy and Epstein magically goes to jail in 2019 and dies mysteriously, off themselves.
Yeah.
And then the global pandemic is going on. And all the Epstein stuff is covered up because they say, oh, he's dead. So that means the client list just disappears. Everybody who was involved in the Epstein stuff, all that information just disappears because it's being covered up by the global pandemic. They had to shut everything down because there was so many names that was exposed, through the Epstein stuff that they end up shutting the whole world down. And not just only shut the whole world down because of the distraction from the Epstein list, but also to make money from it. This dude made $30 billion fucking off the pandemic, and that's just how much was reported publicly.
Yeah, that's just reported right on the book.
That was just reported publicly. Are we not mad enough yet? Like, what the hell is going on? Are people still zombified? Are we awoke? Are we waked? Are we watching this shit? Are we, like, what's going on out here?
Yeah,
People cannot be this fucking brain dead.
Right, it's like watching a movie in real time.
Now we about to repeat 2019. Stuff was about to come out about the Epstein stuff. And of course that got covered up. Trump clearly covering up the Epstein shit because he know him and his buddies are in there. And they covered up in the midst of him invading Venezuela and then basically invading Iran and then threatening to invade all these other countries. To do what? To take the focus off him and his buddies being on the Epstein shit because he was being questioned 24/7 about that. Every time you seen Trump on the news, they question him about the Epstein shit. And he basically gets mad at all the reporters who even bring it up. Saying that his old stuff is boring, the guy's dead, when his human trafficking his stuff is still alive. Epstein could be dead, which I don't think he is. My theory is he is that Palm Beach Pete character, and they parading him around in front of our faces. But even if Epstein was dead, his operations are still going on. So it doesn't matter if the man is dead. The operations are currently going on right now as we speak. There's people being human trafficked, and people are still using the same accounts that Jeffrey Epstein was using to move the money around, to move the bodies around. Those accounts are still active. There's still more islands out there. There's still more private jets out there that's moving these kids in shipping containers and all this shit that's moving these kids, these men, women, and children all around. All that shit is still going on as we speak. And they distracting us with this Iran war and Trump going around saying he's going to invade this country, he's going to do this. Now they want to start up another fake scamdemic that they started themselves. And this time they're going to blame it on rats. The last one they blamed it on bats. Y'all not mad enough yet? Like, what the fuck is going on in this? Nobody cares. It's almost like the whole human civilization was replaced with a bunch of brain dead zombies or some shit. Like, people are not outraged yet.
No, I don't think. See, it's a lot we're not being. That's not being, privy to us, right? So it makes it look like that, there's no resistance being met when it comes to this, right? Well, there's a lot of things we don't see. It might seem like that because we're not looking at it from a broader scope. Because everything that's portrayed at us is to make it look like, yeah, this is happening and these people are winning, but that's not the case. They being met with a lot of resistance. Not a lot people are not going along with a lot of these agendas that they trying to pull off. It's not happening, and they know it's not happening. That's why they're making desperate moves. They only make desperate moves like that when they know their first plan is not working or their second plan is not working. So they got to keep coming up with ways, and people just simply not going along with it. Just like we said, we already went through the whole first pandemic thing. It's not gonna come off the same way it did the first time. It's not gonna go the same way it went the first time because people are already
people ain't going for it.
Yeah, people already kind of woke up to the first time when it happened, so, and these people are naive. They're just as naive as they're just as naive as the citizens, though.
Right.
Yeah. Like the citizens, a portion of the citizens are naive to what's going on, and a portion of, the elites is, they're naive, delusional.
Somebody to make $30 billion off a public health crisis, that should be illegal.
Yeah, him and Fauci should be in jail. Yeah, like I don't understand why these people are, but we know why they're not handcuffs because if you're saying 30, that $30 billion is not him alone. He's making
Right.
money for, you know, who. Same people
Who?
Epstein was working
You
for.
know who?
You know who.
Who?
Right. Who? Who is who?
I don't understand. I don't even understand how they able to get this far in their plans. That's what I'm saying. I don't even understand how they able to get this far. And for them to try to stir up another pandemic at a time like this is crazy to me. Like, you see the motherfucking gas prices out there? You see
Yeah.
those prices out there?
Yeah.
Bro, do you understand what a pandemic right now would do to the world economy, especially America?
I mean, if they
I
trying
guess
to
people
move,
ain't gonna care until it actually happens.
I mean, they really can't move into a new financial space with this, with the same, with the standard we on now. So they gotta try to destroy the old system as much as possible. Wars and pandemic or whatever they going, try to pull off to make it happen. But they go in and buy up. They go, they sink the market and go up and buy everything for pennies on the dollar. So shit, and BlackRock own most of the damn real estate in America.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, what we facing here is something crazy. Like, people don't understand, like, those prices aren't going down no time soon. Like,
No.
y'all gotta understand that they are going for complete broke. They want everybody homeless. That's what y'all have to understand. They want everybody homeless so they can restructure all of this shit. That's why they built those ICE detention centers. Those ICE detention centers ain't for no damn immigrants.
Yeah, that's the whole
Like,
American citizens in there, right?
right. That's the whole American citizens in there. When we lose power and prices are so high, nobody can afford nothing. They start
Yep.
shutting down gas stations because there's no more
Yeah.
gas. Then we got this energy crisis at the same time, a pandemic and a war in Iran. Do you
Right.
understand what that would do? Like, I don't think people is like they're playing chess. While
And they
most of
gonna
us
shut.
think in the mindset of checkers, they are playing chess. They're 3 or 4 or 5 moves ahead.
Yeah, and they gonna shut down all forms of transportation. I mean, y'all think the Spirit Airlines was shut down just because there wasn't funds there? No, that's part of them too. This is all beta tested. You know, um, yeah, they're gonna say, we can't afford, no one can afford to fly or afford to drive. They basically trying to force people back into their homes. They say, nope, you can't go on your cruise. We in a pandemic, we locked down. You know, it's, it's hazardous to go outside right now. Got to stand 20 feet away from each other. Yeah,
And the crazy thing is, they adding more onto it because they realize where they
yeah,
failed. See, the first pandemic was a drill.
was a
They had to
fact.
put something out there, just to see how people will react and what steps they need to take during the next pandemic to have more control. And I'm telling you what it is. To have more control is this digital system that they implementing. That's why they adamant about getting the crypto cashless bills through the digital system that they trying to do economically. They want to get that through. That's why they already signed in the Genius Act, which basically brings the stable coins into the mainstream. Now they want to build. Now they want to bring the Clarity Act so they can bring regulation into the infrastructure into the digital currency space, because they know once they do that and then they do another pandemic, energy crisis on top of the pandemic, all the transportation stop. People now is only back to essential and non-essential, and then at the same time we're going to be running low on supplies, because as the energy crisis happen, that's going to shut down production, that's going to shut down imports and exports. So food and everything is going to be disrupted. So now we're going to be cut down to, oh, you only allow one pack of chicken per household. Like they want to go back to that type of shit, and they already stuck there. Some places do that now. Some places already limit the amount of stuff you're able to buy, but that's going to be even more crazier. So you will have to rely on the government 100%, and then once everything is digital, then they'd be able to track if you try to buy more than one pack of chicken from more than one place, and they'd be able to shut it down because they could pre-program the digital currencies. That's the problem, right? That's why they want to get the digital currency in place before they make sure before this pandemic and before this war continue this energy crisis to the point it gets so bad to where gas stations are shutting down, airports are shutting down. You know, the food ain't being delivered to where it need to be delivered to. Farms are being shut down because of the fertilizer and not having diesel to run their machines to basically continue the farms. All this is like they're playing chess. Like they're literally obliterating any type of freedom that the normal citizen can have. They want us 100% reliant on them so they could launch their totalitarian style government that's basically going to in this digital prison that they planning on putting us in. Because once they got the stable coins bill already through. That's digital currency right there. They can literally cancel out cash now. Like they literally
So the Clarity Act is still but the Clarity Act still has to be passed, which the deadline cutoff is May. So they got till mid-May, actually May 11th. They got till May 11th to actually, to vote on this bill. So actually, everything that's happening now is actually in line with them passing the Clarity Act because the deadline is May 11th. So we're seeing what's happening right now. With Spirit, we seeing the Spirit Airlines. We just seeing little things that's happening.
Of them,
little things that's happening that's actually connected to the stable coins being implemented.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. There's little trinkles of what they planning on doing. Like they got the war going. That's effing up the economy. Effing up we already $39 trillion in debt. Now they on there talking about another possibility of another pandemic. Started on a cruise ship, just like COVID-19. And then they got the cryptocurrency bills ready to be launched. Well, they already launched one, and they about to, like you said, they about to launch the Clarity Act, which is going to set the infrastructure. And after that, they want the digital IDs, which means that you can't have access to the internet, you can't have access to your money, you can't have access to any cash unless you have a digital ID, which they can track anywhere and everywhere, because it's going to be attached to your biometrics in every app that you ever do on your phone or your laptop, your computer, any app that you deal with. You're going to need digital ID to use that app. That's 100% domination. And nobody can say this is some conspiracy theory because everything is in place already. Everything is already in place. Nobody can say this is a fucking theory anymore. Everything's in place. And if you don't see this by now, you must be 100% brain dead or that naive to think that this government and these corporations care about you to where they not ready to enslave your dumb ass. Because that's exactly what's happening. And they're creating these events. Because this war in Iran, we could have went without this war in Iran. Come on. Iran ain't no damn nuclear threat to us. Iran is not no nuclear threat to the United States or any other country. Iran is not launching no nuke anytime soon. They could have been launched the nuke. They had, according to all these administrations going against Iran, apparently they had nuclear capabilities for years, but they never pressed the button. They had plenty of time to push that button. Now, all of a sudden, in 2026, when Trump is in office, now all of a sudden, we scared that they're going to press the button. Why now in 2026? Why they want to press the button now? So we over there and we knew, Trump strategically knew that invading Iran would fuck up the gas prices and would basically put us in the poorhouse.
Come on, push the button. Yeah, come on, push the button. Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
He knew that shit was going to put us in the poorhouse. You got to think about it. These people are here to break down America and basically have it to where Americans don't own shit anymore, because most Americans is going to have to sell everything. Like, we're getting to that, because y'all understand, the further the gas prices and all that stuff go up, that means goods and the price of goods and everything is going to go sky high, to the point where Americans is going to be spending up their savings, tapping into their 401ks, and they're going to be selling off their assets. And you know what the establishment going to be doing with all that? They're going to be tokenizing it. They're going to be putting it on the blockchain. Because they want all the assets in the world on the block, consolidated on the blockchain, where they can monitor it in real time 24/7. And if they want to shut your shit down, they could shut you down with one click of a button. Because cryptocurrency and a blockchain, I don't care if it's Bitcoin, I don't care if it's Ethereum, none of that shit is decentralized. All of it is centralized and going to be consolidated on the blockchain. Because once you need digital ID to access your digital currency, that's when it becomes centralized, because you won't be able to purchase or do anything without digital ID. So it wouldn't even matter if you had so-called decentralized Bitcoin on your cold wallet. That shit ain't gonna matter, because all the resources are going to be owned by them, and they're going to basically say you ain't going to have access to any of these resources, not a home, not a car, no services. You won't be able to use no apps. You won't be able to bank anywhere. You won't be able to do anything unless you have a digital ID to prove that it's you, that is connected to your biometrics. So if you owe anything, or you're in violation of something, that of a law we created, we can shut you down with one click of a button, because your digital ID is going to be attached to every app that you deal with. Every app. And look what we use apps for. We use apps for everything. We use apps for our banking, apps for our shopping, apps for our security, apps to access your home, apps to access your car, apps to access this, access that, apps to get you from point A to point B, Uber, apps to get your food delivered. We depend on apps for everything that they control. They control every last one of these apps that we're using. So if they don't like something that you said on an app, on a social media app, they don't like something you said, this is in the very near future, they could press one button and you won't have access to any of those apps. And guess what? You're going to be locked out of society. And you'll be like, well, I got some cash that's stashed under my bed or in my closet. You won't be able to use that cash, because once they got the stable coins through. So places can start rejecting physical cash and say, we only accept digital currency here. And they will be able to do that by law, because Congress and the rest of the world also agree that coins, which is digital currency, is now considered cash. And it's just as acceptable as physical cash. So a place won't get in trouble for saying we don't accept physical cash. We only accept digital cash. So you won't have access to shit. Soon as you try to use that digital cash and you flagged in the system for something that you said or something that you did, you won't be able to have access to do nothing. You won't be able to buy nothing. You won't be able to go nowhere. You won't be able to travel. You won't be able to do shit. And that's how they like it. And they were testing these things through the COVID-19 shutdowns. Those were testing grounds. That's why they had the essential businesses and the non-essential businesses. And they were collecting data in a way so they'd be able to figure out what they need to do in the future when they do bring the totalitarian style government in. They was basically just mapping everything out, analyzing the data and basically saying, all right, this is what we have to do. We have to tighten up here. All right, we see that when we told them in certain stores, the main chain stores, they only allowed to get three packs of toilet paper and 4 packs of chicken. We see some of them were going to other places with cash to buy from other stores. So we got to be able to shut that down. Oh, well, to shut that down is the digital currency. It'll follow them to every store. So if they try to go to Target when they was just previously at Walmart trying to get an extra pack of chicken or extra package of toilet paper for their family, they won't be able to do it because you're tracked. And the thing is, most of those big chains are going to be like, you try to use cash because it's untraceable. They be like, we don't accept cash. We only accept digital currency here. So you won't even be able to get it nowhere. So this is a way that they'd be able to lock you out of society, because that's what they were doing during COVID. They were trying to lock certain people out of society who didn't want to follow the mandates. People who didn't want to wear masks, people who didn't want to get vaccinated. They needed some way to basically ostracize them from society. And that's what that's what they're using this whole digital shit for. And they brag about this type stuff in series like Black Mirror and stuff like that. They brag about how they're going to basically how they're going to have us in the future under this digital prison, because that's what it is. It's going to be a literal digital prison that they control. That's their dream, and that every step is leading to that. That's why you can't trust anything they say. A global pandemic, yeah, right. Yeah, a global testing ground to see how we can enslave people, in an efficient way, because that's basically what this is about. It's about it's about these governments and these corporations coming together to enslave the people anymore, even more. I mean, to tell you the truth, this current credit system we got is bullshit and unfair. This credit system that they got is going by in the United States. You can't do this, you can't do that unless you got a certain credit score. Like, that's bullshit. And that don't do anything. That don't help anybody except the corporations. That don't help anybody. It really doesn't. That's just another way for them to control people. Now they're going to make it even more. Then they're going to basically make it even more sophisticated with this digital shit. They're going to make that credit system even more sophisticated. That's why that's why you got people like Elon Musk, which is another actor out here. He ain't who y'all think he is. None of these people that they put in front of our faces and give them so-called billions and trillions of dollars, none of these people are real. These are all people that work for the state. They're just a face. Like, none of these people, they all go by scripts that they have to go by. But that's why you will see people like Elon Musk talking about, in the future, everybody's going to be replaced by humanoid robots and we're going to be on a universal basic income. And he creates technologies like the Neuralink, a chip that can be installed in a human brain so it can be monitored from basically another database somewhere in the Pentagon somewhere. They got to put in a freaking chip in your brain called the Neuralink. Look it up. If y'all don't believe that Elon Musk literally got technology where he want to install microchips into people's brains. Like, that goes to show you what we're facing here. That goes to show you what we're facing here. All these people are in cahoots together. All of them. And they will act like that they have a problem with us. I mean, they act like they have a problem with each other in front of us. Like, you will see Bill Gates and Elon Musk taking shots at each other, or Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk going back and forth. That's all political theater that they creating for us on social media, because that's another tool that they're using to basically get us all hooked into this matrix system that they building around us. They use these individuals to basically hook us in, make us try to aspire to be these billionaires and all that. When these people aren't real billionaires, they just given that status and given all that fake money, because the people who's running everything, they create money out of thin air. And the money out of thin air, you can look it up. It's called fractional reserve banking. Put out there by the central banks, owned by the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. Well, the Rockefellers more so own resources like the oil and all that type of shit. And the Rothschilds is more so the banking system, the Federal Reserve Bank, the central bank of, wherever. And they basically create money out of thin air and loan it to governments. And add interest rates that's so high that the governments know they can't pay back. So they put that on the citizens, to the point we got a national debt of $39 trillion owed mainly to the central banks that's been enslaving us through interest rates. Because it's a high-ass interest rate on every dollar that they loan the United States government that the taxpayer have to pay back to fund wars that we don't even want to be in. Do y'all understand? Like, this is all one big ass scam. It's all one big Ponzi scheme. And the end goal is to get all of us enslaved in this digital prison. We can see how social media is affecting our kids, infecting us right now. You could tell it's psychological warfare. Social media is psychological warfare. It's to keep you insecure and scared. And not knowing the truth. They got us all enslaved to an algorithm now. They got us all enslaved to an algorithm now. And that's a part of the plan. It's all a digital prison. And that's what all these pandemics and these wars, it's all bringing us to these, basically, into this prison. It's getting us there, because once everybody lose everything, everybody's going to turn to they think everybody's going to turn to the government to see what the government is going to do for them, and these corporations are going to do for them. And that's when they're going to have the solution of cashless society, universal basic income, everybody on digital IDs, and everybody gets a certain amount of money that's programmable. If you don't use it in a certain amount of time, it resets and you have to do it all over again. But if you do things that violate, you won't get as much money as the next person. And they'd be able to track all of this through artificial intelligence. That's how they're going to be able to track everybody and everything that we do. Like, y'all gotta understand, and nobody can say this is a theory at this point. Nobody can say that, oh, this is like, sounds like some bullshit and some conspiracy theory, when all the evidence is right in front of our faces and around us. This dude, Bill Gates, made $30 billion off the last pandemic. And he was in cahoots with Epstein, talking about a pandemic before it even happened. Him and Epstein planning a pandemic, running simulations back and forth with each other, writing emails. Epstein inviting Bill Gates over to some Russian hookers. Like, come on, y'all! Like, y'all not seeing this shit? Are y'all not mad enough yet? Are y'all not mad? And then all of a sudden the pandemic actually happens and Epstein goes to jail and Bill Gates makes $30 billion off the pandemic, off a public health crisis. He makes $30 billion off of it. And he's still out here operating. How the fuck are we still dealing with this? Like, how are we still even dealing with this? Like, are we still not mad enough yet? What the fuck is going on out here? Do y'all not see this shit? Are we just going to sit back and still just let them collapse everything, take everything from us, put us in the digital prison, and make it look like it's our fault that we lost everything? Because that's what they do. They gaslight you. That's what these corporations and these governments do. They're a bunch of narcissists that gaslight you. They the ones that create all the crises and all the problems, and they blame it on the citizens. Unjustly. We're not $39 trillion in debt, in national debt, because of the American citizens. We're $39 trillion in debt because the government overspending and there's no oversight on where the money is going. That's why we $39 trillion in debt, and we sign these contracts with these central banks that's basically ripping us off for every dollar that we borrow from them. And that's our so-called leadership that signed off on these deals, where we basically getting screwed in the end. Now they don't even have any people paid into Social Security and all this type of shit, and they don't even have that money. It's impossible for them to have your Social Security money that you paid in for 40, 50 years you've been working. 40 and 50 years of your life, you paid into that bullshit, and trust me, they don't have it. It's impossible for them to have it because they're $39 trillion in debt. We can't even fathom $1 trillion. To have 39 of them motherfuckers? Nobody can even count to 1 trillion in their lifetime. You can't sit there and count from 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't even count to 1 trillion in one lifetime. And we owe 39 of them motherfuckers. You still think they got your Social Security waiting for when you retire and when your grandkids retire? That shit is gone. Nobody's even getting real money at this point. All the real money is gone. Americans themselves is $2 trillion in credit card debt. That's another scam. That was another pyramid scheme. The credit card system, the credit system, that's a scam. The school system in the United States, the student loans and all that, that was another scam. The housing market, that was another fucking scam. Social media and all this shit, that's another fucking scam. And it's like you're born into, you can't even avoid the scams now. It's like everything is a scam. The medical system is a scam. You see how the insurance companies and all how that shit operate behind the scenes when the hospitals and all them is milking the insurance companies that people have to pay for. You'll find out they charging $500 for a fucking Tylenol. You can actually ask them, let me see the receipts for all this stuff that I'm paying for at the hospital that my insurance is paying for. Let me look at the receipts. You see you paying $200 for a can of ginger ale, $500 for a Tylenol. Like, do y'all understand the type of scams that we dealing with? All this money that you're required to have car insurance, that's another scam. You could be 40, 50 years on the road and never get into an accident, but look how much money you paid into car insurance. Unless you get into an accident after 50 years, you still got to pay a premium or some shit, just the extra money when you get into an accident, when they've been collecting money from you for 50 years. But you still got to pay if an accident happened. Do you understand the type of scams that they're running? Like, everything is a scam. How are we still dealing with this? Your income is getting taxed. The products that you buy with your income is getting taxed. Any assets that you have is getting taxed. You got a car that you bought that's getting taxed. Then you getting taxed to even use that car on the highway for tolls and gas and all that. It's like you're paying tax on top of tax on top of tax on top of tax, and they still $39 trillion in debt. They're still $39 trillion in debt, even though you're paying 50 different taxes on one fucking car. But they still $39 trillion in debt, and they still begging for more money. There's actually something that's going around where the U.S. government is asking United States citizens could they basically send money to a GoFundMe for the government to help pay off the national debt. At the same time, hiring more IRS agents to basically squeeze every penny out of Americans after they blew $39 trillion and the Pentagon failed 8 different audits. And you don't even know where the hell the money is going. You got the executive branch of the government wanting $1.5 trillion for a war that nobody agrees with. The executive branch right now, the Trump administration want $1.5 trillion. We already, mind you, we $39 trillion in debt, and he want to squeeze $1.5 trillion out of our economy to go to war with Iran to assist Israel. Do y'all understand how effed up all of this is? Like, y'all not getting it? Like, we're not mad enough yet? How are we not mad enough yet? How the hell are we not mad enough yet? And they still covering up the murdering, blood drinking, pedophile freaks that's doing all the human trafficking. They still hiding those, the real files, the real names. They still hiding that. How are we not freaking out yet? How are we still going along with this? How the hell are we still going along with this? Y'all not tired of this shit yet? And the thing is, we can't say, oh, it's the Democrats or it's the Republicans. It's both. It's both. This last election, this last presidential election, it wasn't nobody to fucking vote for. You either get Trump the con man or Kamala that laughing hyena, the hypocrite laughing hyena. Like, there's no one to vote for. There's no one to vote for. All of them are corrupt. All of them are in on it together, and they all dare to destroy America. None of them are as incompetent as you think. You would think these, Trump is incompetent. Biden is incompetent. Obama is incompetent. You could say, no, these people are intentionally destroying this country. They know exactly what they're doing. You can either say they're incompetent or you can say that they're just puppets that's being used to destroy the country. I take basically puppets being used to destroy country for 500, Alex, because that's what's basically happening. These people are aimed that these people are incompetent. Trump knew exactly what would happen to this economy if he invaded Iran. He knew exactly what would happen. Trump knew exactly what would happen to this economy if he put those dumbass tariffs that he did, that the United States citizens would have to pay for. Like, he knew all those moves that he was making. He knows exactly how that's going to affect America. They all do, and they're doing it intentionally. They are literally doing all this intentionally. They are collapsing everything intentionally. They want Americans to lose everything, and they are preparing for Americans to lose everything and to be homeless. They want 70 to 80% of Americans homeless, not having nowhere to go, and they're gonna have them big ass detention centers that they so-called using for ICE. I mean, for immigration, for immigrants or illegal aliens or whatever. They intentionally building them big ass detention centers for when a whole bunch of people are homeless, because they about to shut this shit down. That energy crisis stuff is for real. They are literally trying to shut this down, and they putting things in the environment that's affecting the farmland, so farms can't produce as much crops as they usually do, or feed. And then they going around killing all the cattle off, saying that they got mad cow disease and they got this and they got that. They killing off all the cattle, so they're destroying all of our food supply. At the same time, raising prices high as hell, so we can't even get food imported in at a reasonable price. They're killing the fucking energy sector. They're not allowing people to use real solar energy that collects real amount of solar power. They limited that. If people actually do the research on how you able to have solar panels and all, none of the solar panels that's being used is basically able to be efficient enough to suck in enough energy to basically run everything, so everybody have free energy, because they limit the amount that companies are able to build, the amount of sunlight that is able to basically absorb, because they want to keep a hold of the energy sector. Because you got people like the Rockefellers, and if you go dig deep enough, you'll find out that Standard Oil and all them from back in the day, who's now Royal Dutch Shell and all them motherfucking oil companies, they're the ones that's controlling the energy sector. So they don't want to lose control of that. So they limit any type of natural energy or real Tesla technology, where Tesla came up almost damn 200 years ago. Tesla came up with technology that would be able to basically run everything wirelessly. They got rid of that technology. They don't want any type of technology out there that's going to benefit the people, to where we get free energy or free clean water. They don't want any of that out there. They want all the opposite shit out there that they can control, and that they can, if they press a button or they make an announcement, all of it to be shut down. That's what they want. They want that type of control. And we all know this. Everybody knows this deep down inside. Even if you don't even know it on the surface, you know deep down inside that we're being controlled by these fucking vampires, these leeches, these people that don't let any type of innovation happen, because they don't want to lose control of the markets that they've been owning and cornering and manipulating for centuries now. And that's basically why we're not innovating. We got all this technology out here, but none of it is really helping the people. It seems like all the technology that they release is weaponized. It harms us in some type of way. It do more good than bad. I mean, it do more bad than good. That's what it seems like. It seems like every little technology they release to the public is weaponized in some type of way. They don't never let anything out there that's going to uplift the people and make our life easier. They only release technology that we basically is enslaved to. That's basically what they did. They released technology that we end up being enslaved to, that they control. That's the only premise they release technology on. And we're witnessing this nonstop. Why do we allow them to abuse us like this? nonstop. Why do we allow them to abuse us? And then we fight amongst each other about which one would be better to lead us, and they all wicked as hell. There ain't no lesser evil out there. There ain't no lesser evil out there. They all Epstein buddies. They all work with Epstein. They all human traffickers and blood drinkers. There ain't no lesser evil anymore. It's basically them against us, and they got us against each other because we judging each other based off what political party you're part of. And none of that shit don't mean nothing to them. They just use that to control us with, to keep us divided. Why are we still allowing this to happen? Why are we not supporting? Why are we keep supporting these major corporations out here and not supporting small businesses and entrepreneurs? And why do we hate to see our neighbors create businesses and be successful? Why do we hate on our neighbors, but we quick to run into Walmart and fucking Target and a dollar store, all those places that's just selling a bunch of chemical products? Shit that's killing us, shit that's mass produced, no type of love in it. At least when you go to the local person, like the local coffee shop and all that type of those people are usually more passionate about what they do. That's why they opened up a coffee business, because they know everything there is to know about coffee. And they open up their beloved coffee shop that they love, and they put love in every cup. But no, you'd rather go to fucking Starbucks where everything is mass produced, chemicalized, and they hate you, and all the money that you give to them, it goes offshore. It don't even come back into the American economy. All their money go offshore. They do that. When they give us those stimulus checks and say go spend your money, it to stimulate the economy. When you go and spend your money at those big corporations, it do not stimulate our economy, because that money don't come back into the community. That money goes straight to offshore accounts overseas. Those big companies do not keep their money, and they barely pay taxes. These big ass corporations, they know all the loopholes to escape from paying taxes. They said that Jeff Bezos ain't paid one fucking dollar in taxes. $1, and that dude's worth billions of dollars. But there's a loophole where he able to keep it all like in assets, to where basically it don't like where it's like he don't even have it. Like he had his bank account would have $100 in there, but he's worth billions of dollars, and it make it look like he ain't got no money at all. So he get to basically evade taxes and not have to pay 1 cent in taxes. And they all do it. I'm not just picking on Jeff Bezos. All them fucking billionaires that own these big ass companies do that. Trump did it. Trump admitted that he did. Trump admitted that he does it. So when they give these fake ass bailouts and these stimulus checks, that shit don't boost the economy. It just get us further in debt. Like I don't understand how we not mad enough yet. This shit is crazy, bro. Like I don't even, I guess if we let them go all the way with this shit, even though we know what's happening, I guess we deserve exactly what we get then. I guess I'm just going to end that shit right there. I guess if we let them get this far with it and continue, even after the Epstein stuff was released, even after all the other stuff they got caught with, the corrupt ass government got caught with, along with these corporations, that's attached to the Epstein shit and more. Not just the Epstein, all the crooked shit that the CIA got caught doing over the years, all the crooked shit that the military got caught doing over the years, the Iran-Contra affairs and all that type of shit, and the Gulf of Tonkin, and all that corrupt ass shit, the drug trafficking shit on the West Coast and then Nicaragua, all that shit, all that corrupt Epstein scandals, all that corrupt shit. We just allowing them to continue to be corrupt. The Hillary and the Benghazi situation, Hillary Clinton, the Hunter Biden's laptop, and all of them. Bush working with the Nazis, the first Bush being a banker, making sure that the Nazis' money was safe during World War II. Had Nazis hiding Nazis out in the United States and Argentina. All that shit that they got caught with over the years. They got caught with They got caught doing all of this, and we still trust them. We still sitting there arguing amongst each other, or who's better, a Democrat or a Republican to run this country.
People gotta get out of that mindset. They don't get the fuck out of that mindset of Democrat, Republican. Sheesh. Y'all still locked in the Democrat and Republican mindset, and who y'all think gonna be the better choice to run this country? Man, it's to tell you the truth, the people need to stand up, man. The people need to really understand that the power need to really be taken back and given back to the people. The people really need to take the power back. That's what's at times like this, at times like this is where it really matters. Can't let these corporations to keep getting away with what they're getting away with, letting our government taxes up the kazoo, use our money and extract our money from the economy and give it to other countries to build their economy up. The people looking like, damn, what about the people of America? You would think that money would be, that they give that money to help the people of America. They giving our money to other countries to build up their infrastructure. That don't make no damn sense. That don't make sense at all. But that's, they ain't doing nothing to benefit the people. It's all special interests anyway. So these are people when you see them taking large amounts of money and giving it to other countries, that's investments. Those are investments right there. Those are not just them giving money to other countries just to be giving it to them. No, they buying into something. I just heard Trump say you see the move Trump's made when he got in office with TikTok. He said, listen, we buy half of it. And when they whole thing shut down, was shutting down and shit, or he's telling them matter of fact, he made them an offer they couldn't refuse. He was telling them either leave America or let us buy into half of that. And yeah, they had to, they had to make the deal.
Then he's doing the same thing with Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, Spirit.
Trying to use government tax dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he told Spirit, they'd come in for 500 million. But taxpayers got to foot that bill. I'm like, why y'all trying to make this government a government airline and make taxpaying citizens pay for it? That's insane. Yeah, they on some crony shit at it they taking it to another level. But what they doing what they really want to do. Yep. They doing what they really want to do.
Exactly.
They want to break America down, and buy everything up for pennies on the dollar. So, a lot of these construction and tech companies and construction companies, because they got to build these new smart cities. They got to prepare for that. They got to prepare to build these data centers. So, because the data centers also fits into the smart cities as well. You got to factor that in, because if you build a digital city, that's all, that's dealing with digital data. So they need those data centers to actually run these 15-minute smart cities as well. Because you got to think about the transportation, everything has to do with being set up digitally, the money, everything we pay for digitally, all that has to be processed through the data centers, so they making it think about, thinking it's just, we got to stop using Chat GPT because of the data centers. It's just not no damn Chat GPT. Oh no, right. them data centers being set up for something much bigger than some goddamn
more so surveillance. Yeah,
right.
More so the surveillance state and all the collection, all the data that they collect on us. on all these American citizens and the world global citizens need to go to data centers so they can use the AI to basically go through all that data so they can surveil us.
Yeah,
because it's all really about surveillance.
Because once they put all that on the blockchain, our medical records, everything, every transaction, everything has to be processed through those you know, so the data centers is, you know, to help process all that information, basically controlling humanity, just, you know, monitoring everything we do on a daily basis. You know, they want everything hooked up to the smart city. How many times you flush your toilet a day? You know, how many times you wash your clothes a day? How many times you know, making meals a day? How many times you using your microwave? How many times you know using your refrigerator? Like anything that's, you know, that's about energy, they want to be able to put a cap on that. You know, they want to be able to put a cap on every aspect, you know, that involves with using energy.
And
How
all
many
that
times
stuff you
you
just mentioned, it needs data.
right?
All
Yeah, it
that
needs
stuff
data.
creates
Yeah, that's
data,
the data.
and they need to
Right.
be able to store it and sort it somewhere. So that's why they
Exactly.
need those big ass massive data centers with AI, because they're gonna need
Yeah.
AI to store all that information. Because even with the data mining that they've been doing, even before
Right.
AI is sophisticated as it is now since AI is that sophisticated, they need those big ass data centers so they can collect more information and make it more basically more easier to read because they're able to use the AI to do it. But that takes a hell of a lot of computing power, which means they need big ass spaces to be able to put that data somewhere.
Yeah, and they need to be processed at a you know, at a certain rate too. So, you know, like them using AI to basically process all that data, that's why the big ass mega computers that they have, the big ass quantum computers can process that information at a faster rate.
Facts.
Because they got to be able to handle all the transactions as well, like all the digital transactions, as far as like, you
Yep.
know, money being exchanged, you know, with throughout from the you know, with the you know, exchanges, with the digital exchanges and shit. They got to be able to process all the information. So that's why they wanted the Fed now shit set up too, because Fed now is going to be more of a digital processor, you know, like for to basically keep track of the spending and shit, transactions, you know. So yeah, welcome to the future, niggas. That's what they telling you. Welcome to the future. All that shit you've been seeing in movies and all that shit.
Right.
AI robots walking around and servicing and shit, and be part of law enforcement and military, and you know, servicing humans, you know, assisting humans and shit like that. Yeah.
Bro, they don't need those big ass data centers just to use Chat GPT, bro. For us to
Yeah,
use
nah,
Chat
hell no, not
GPT,
Chat
bro.
GPT.
Like
No, hell no.
that's where they sitting there. That's where they basically you know, running game on us at. They running
Right,
game
right,
on
right.
us, making us think that is Chat GPT is the reason why they need those big ass data centers. When
Yeah.
those of us who really know what's going on, we know they need those big ass data centers, not for Chat GPT, but for surveillance.
Yeah, they need that
It's
shit for
a
surveillance.
surveillance state.
Facts. I mean, because they want to be able to track this digital shit. Like they want to be able to track it, you know, and that's the only way, you know, we talking about the blockchain. You know, they want to be able to make everything transparent. Yeah, not only that, the fact that it's you know, it's too much water consumption to even run those data centers. So
And that's not
that
because
shit is
no fucking
lethal.
Chat GPT and no
This shit is
open
lethal.
AI. It's because quantum computing is what sucks up all the water. Do you know how much energy it takes for them to run quantum computing? And
Right, satellites too, right.
that's what those data centers are being built for. That's sucking all the resources out of the environment and scorching the planet is because they want to do quantum computing, which this
Yeah.
planet is not able to house that. This planet is not able to house a bunch of data centers doing quantum computing. That will destroy the fucking planet. It will destroy it. The amount of energy it takes for quantum computing is insane.
Bro, they said that one
y'all.
data.
It's not about
They said that one
GPT.
data center. They say even one data center equals the amount of water Philadelphia used by itself. The water consumption that Philadelphia, the whole city used, one fucking data center equals the amount of a whole city like Philadelphia uses on a daily basis. That's we can't have that, bro. That's too much. That's too much water consumption.
That shit is
This
going to
planet,
turn us
we
into
gonna drive
Mars.
the planet.
That's going to turn Earth into Mars. Do you
Right.
understand? That's going to turn Earth into Mars. This shit won't even be inhabitable anymore if they build quantum computing data centers all over the world. That will suck up every resource there is, and it will scorch all the life that we have here. All the greenery will be gone. Do you understand? Like, we cannot allow them to be successful with setting up these quantum computer data centers.
If it destroys
That
the
shit
bees,
will
it destroys the planet.
scorch this planet.
Yeah, they definitely ain't preparing for no humans to live on this motherfucker. So is Skynet already took? Did Skynet take this shit over already? It's like they plan not to build them shits and have them shits everywhere. They must plan to have no life on this planet at all. Like this is be a total
This shit
artificial
will look like the
intelligence planet.
Matrix. It will
Yeah,
look like the
like
Matrix when
total
they got
100%.
pulled out of the Matrix. You remember when they got pulled out of the
Yeah,
Matrix and how the planet looked?
yeah,
The sky was
Zion.
scorched.
Right,
The ground was scorched, and it was just a bunch of big ass data centers with the sentinels everywhere.
right.
And they was using humans as energy. That's basically what
Yeah,
happened.
humans and
That's what
babies
would
in a pod.
happen if they built a bunch of quantum computing data centers everywhere. It would literally look like the Matrix when they pulled them out of the Matrix and how the real world looked in the Matrix.
Why would
Scorched
you look
black sky and a dry ass planet with just
like get your ass to
computer
Mars?
systems everywhere.
Right, you'd be looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger was when his ass got when the window broke and his ass fell in the desert in Total Recall. His eyes start popping out his fucking for real. This shit, yo.
Yeah, I need
They
to
must.
this video
Yeah,
and
they
share
must.
this video.
Yeah, they must plan on turning this planet 100% occupied by artificial intelligence. Because I just don't see, that it's not going to be beneficial for humanity at all with that shit.
It's not sustainable.
All right. I
It's
don't
not.
know.
It would
Maybe.
kill. It would literally kill off all the wildlife. It would kill off all the
Yeah.
wildlife. It would kill off all of the vegetation,
Yeah.
and it would
And if you
completely
want,
ruin
yeah,
our environment.
once all the bees die, if you're killing the bees off, then yeah, the planet's pretty much dead anyway.
Right.
Yeah, if you killing the bees off, then it's a wrap.
I mean, not even just that. If you sucking up all the water, if you using
Yeah,
all
because
the water to cool off,
everything
you're
needs water,
fucking
right?
dead.
Everything
You're
needs
done.
water.
Yeah.
Everything needs water. And you right now, the shit they playing the water right now is like a commodity right now. That it's like it's playing on the stock market like motherfucking gold right now. Yeah. Yeah, clean water is actually, being played on the stock market like it's gold right now. So I was wondering why some of those wealthy families was hoarding water and shit.
They was buying up all the natural water sources.
Yeah, they was hoarding water like a mug, bro. Like buying everything up, buying all the natural. And I was looking like, yo.
That's why
So
they plan on 3D printing all the
interesting.
food. They want to destroy the ecosystem to the point where nobody be able to farm, nobody be able to have gardens or nothing. And to the point where all the food have to come from their data centers, their factories. That's why they coming with the fake lab grown meat, the fake fruits and vegetables and all that can be grown in a laboratory. Because then they have 100% over the food supply, and it'll shorten our lifespans. because that food is not nutritious at all. Like it's 100% poison. And then they'd be able to control who eats the poison or not, because that's basically what it is. That's why that's going around. That's why they got government agencies like the USDA going around killing off all the cattle and everything, saying that, oh, they infected with mad cow disease and avian flu and all this bullshit. And they got real farmers that's raising healthy meat. They got them killing off all the animals. They also spraying shit in the environment to stop the vegetation from growing. And they also weather modification through the HART program and seed clouding and all that type of shit that they're doing. Like they're doing all that to protect our food supply, and they killing off all the bees with the weed killer, the glyphosate that's inside.
They replacing that shit with artificial sweetener. They replacing everything with artificial sweetener. Corn syrup, basically using corn syrup and all, to basically replace all the artificial, using that as an artificial sweetener to replace what the bees can't even, pollinate.
Well, it's bigger than that. Yeah, it's all about the pollination of the flowers and shit for everything to grow. Bees are important to the environment because they pollinate.
That's why
they're one of the only species on the planet that pollinates. That's able, and they're responsible for most of the vegetation on the planet. So if they kill off the bees, they kill off our fucking vegetation.
Yeah.
And if they scorch
they
the planet to the point where they killing up all the water, so they drought, basically sending us into a drought with the water supply. Yeah, they basically going to just nobody be able to grow food anymore.
That's what they want, people not to grow food anymore. And when everybody eating laboratory based plant-based meat.
And then they removing all the seeds, because you can use your fruit and stuff that you grow, your heirloom fruits and vegetables, they come with seeds, but all the genetically modified fruits and vegetables don't have any seeds.
None.
So you'll be forced to have to buy the seeds from them, because your fruits and vegetables don't produce any more seeds. That's another way how they controlling the food supply. Do y'all see what's happening? They playing chess, not checkers.
I bought some oranges and lemons. The shit ain't had no seeds in it. And it's organic at that. Even the organic shit don't have no seeds in it.
Because organic don't mean that it's not genetically modified. Organic just means that it's not supposed to be no synthetic pesticides and shit sprayed in the soil and on the vegetation. But they don't have nothing to do with genetically modified shit. You can have genetically modified organic produce.
Right. Yeah, they've been planning this shit for hundreds of years. Yeah. You said they sell us radiation seeds. Yeah, pretty much. If you shopping at the grocery store, most of that, the fruits and vegetables and shit in there don't have no seeds in it.
And it don't even taste the same. You go to a foreign country where they grow real fruit and shit. Like when I went to Costa Rica, that fruit tasted way different than it does in the United States.
Right.
That shit tasted way different. And I couldn't even find a fruit that didn't have seeds in it in Costa Rica.
Right. When the last time y'all had when the last time y'all had seeded grapes and y'all bought some seeded grapes from the store? When the last time any of y'all ever, had some seeded grapes? I'm talking about the grapes with the seeds in it.
It's hard to find seeded grapes. You gotta go to like international stores and shit in the United States. You gotta go to
had seeded grapes in decades. Like the past 25 years.
Yeah, we've been screwed over here. The United States got the worst when it comes to food. It's hard to find clean food in the United States. Our government hate clean food
and clean water.
Yeah, our government hate clean food and clean water. Our government hates that. They do not want its citizens to have access to anything of any real nutritional value.
Because you can't fight. You can't think straight. Yeah, you fight and then you fight and kill amongst each other. you know, based upon the separate being put into these separate groups. Yeah, they specialize in keeping us weak, docile, separate from you know. They don't want they don't want people to really come together and unite. I'm talking about against them though, against our very own power structure that's in place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad out here, y'all. Our solution is, our solution is try to find places like farms and butchers that sell real natural food that's local and support them. Support your local entrepreneurs. Shit, we entrepreneurs. Actually, this video is sponsored by nightandayherbals.com. If you haven't already, that's our own herbal shop where we sell
Yeah, we have our
organic
own.
herbal
Yeah.
products. We got natural hair and skincare products. We got natural CBD. We got apparel and everything on there. So make sure y'all check us out. nightandayherbals.com. You see this little QR code at the top of the screen. You can scan that there to get to our website, or you can simply type in Night and Day Network LLC or Night and Day Herbals in your Google search. We'll pop up 5 stars on there. Or you could at the top of the chat, you can get there through that link at the top of the chat or the description of this video for those of y'all who's watching at a later date. We got our products are very high quality. Our CBD is grown without any synthetic pesticides. It's actually grown by the Amish in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. If y'all know anything about the Amish community, it's a farming community. And their land and their dirt and stuff is very good dirt, fertilizer, mineralized dirt. They grow everything in season, so all of our CBD products are very high quality. It works for everything from pain to insomnia to anxiety. We got CBD in all types of forms. We got CBD cigarettes, CBD pre-rolls, we got vapes, we got CBD muscle rubs and CBD pain bombs for pain to manage your pain. So check us out. That's nightandayherbals.com. And you can search us on Google, 5 stars on there, nightandayherbals.com or Night and Day Network LLC on Google.
Yeah, make sure y'all join the email list as well for when we send out discounts, newsletters and when we get update on products or we restock back up on products, we send a newsletter out. So make sure y'all join our email list. You could do that at the bottom of the website. Just put your email name in, email, and submit it. Make sure y'all leave reviews too for y'all that bought products from us. Y'all that been supporting us for years already, and if you haven't left a review on any products, make sure y'all leave some reviews on the products too. And we doing a $15 free gift card to the shop if you leave a honest review. We only want honest reviews, whether the product worked for you or it didn't work for you. Still, we need honest reviews. So
facts.
If you purchase products from us, make sure you go over there and leave reviews. And check out some of the reviews from the other customers throughout the years that's on there too.
Right. Yeah, because we definitely about quality. We pride ourselves on the quality of our products. That's why we want people to leave honest reviews so people know that our products, actually work. As you can see, we passionate about what we do and we passionate about what we believe in. That's why our shop have to be high quality. Like we wouldn't give y'all nothing less than high quality. That's why we went to the experts of farming, which is the Amish, to help grow our CBD that we use for our products. And if y'all know anything about the Amish community, they don't even use social media. They don't got any type of electronics or nothing in their house. A lot of them don't even have running water in their house. Like they still use outhouses. They still, they do everything natural, 100% natural. So that's how you know that our products is definitely high quality. Anybody who ever, living, they real prominent in places like Ohio. I guess you got some in Florida, Pennsylvania. So if y'all know anything about the Amish community who help grow our CBD, you know that our CBD has to be quality. Because that's a farming community. They whole life is farming. Like their whole life is farming. So that's how we know we probably got some of the best CBD on the market. Like literally.
Right, and if they ever got if they got I'm pretty sure they already got approached for their farm to buy their farms, so they could build data centers, and they told them people no. There's a lot of a lot of natural farmers right now have told you know them no, because the developers that's coming in and offering them 3 or 4 times of what their farm is worth, they already told them no. So a lot of these people are already hip to what's going on. The Omnish is not going to sell to those developers at all. Like, they might have chances with other, farmers or whatever, but the Omnish is not one community they be able to approach and give them 3 or 4 times what they farm is worth. I mean, but shout out to all the farmers that are just saying no to these developers that's coming in, that's trying to make them, sell their land. Like, they're offering like 30 million, 15 million, 60 million, you know, to these farmers for their land. I mean, they're buying up hundreds of thousands, millions of acres to build these data centers. And they need them all over every state. They need them in every state, so they're definitely going in and trying to do their best to buy these people out. So if y'all know some farmers
Right.
in your area and that don't know what's going on, I'm pretty sure they probably already been approached. But if you didn't, make sure y'all educate y'all the farmers in your area and tell them that y'all don't want them to sell to these developers that's coming that's trying to buy up their land to build data centers. Tell them hell no. Because you gotta think about, all the farm out the area, that's the food. That's the food source. It's gone. That means your whole food source is gone.
Mm-hmm. And that's what
So
we telling y'all. The solution, one of the biggest solutions that we could do right now is support our local businesses, support our local entrepreneurs, support our local farmers, and support our local butchers over the big corporations. That's a way to fight back. That's the way to vote with your dollar. And that's the way to keep the money within the community, is by supporting people from your community and not these big ass corporations.
hell no.
That's the thing, because most of the money that you support for the corporations, it don't circulate in the community. That money goes to offshore accounts. So it's not even helping the community at all when we shop at these big corporations. That's why we tell y'all so it's not all doom and gloom. Like, we giving y'all a solution. One of the solutions is voting with your dollars. Voting with your dollars. Like, if most of us did that, it can push the power back into the people, because money is energy, currency. That's why it's called currency. Money is energy, and where the energy go, that's where the power go. So one of the biggest solutions that you could do, see, we giving y'all solutions. One of the biggest solutions you could do: support your local businesses, support the farm, go to farmers markets, go to butchers, go to your instead of going to Starbucks, go to your local barista and your local coffee shop instead of going to Panera Bread and Starbucks. Go to local places, support local businesses, and shit, become entrepreneurs yourself.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
gonna
still,
definitely
we
get
got
back to
our
that.
skills back. We gotta learn how to
Yeah,
grow our
right.
own food, shit like that. Get, if you're in an area where you can get a couple of chickens and hatch your own eggs, or produce your own meat like that. These are real solutions that people can do. And if you live in a city and you don't have access to start a garden, or have a little bit of farmland, or have some animals, support your local farmers markets. It's farmers markets even in the cities.
Yeah, every
Well,
city
we
got
we
a
from
farmers
we from
market.
Philly, yeah, Philly. In Philly, there's the Reading Terminal. Shit, there's
Yeah,
Amish people in the Reading Terminal. It's
right,
it's a lot of local businesses within inside the Reading Terminal in Philly.
right.
Like, just support your local
You got the Italian
businesses.
market
You
in
can
South Philly.
easily go on
You got the
Google.
whole Italian market.
Yep,
Yep.
you got a Thai market. Yep. You can easily go on Google and search farmers markets near me, local butchers near me, and support your local people. Build a relationship with them. Ask them about their food. Talk to them about this, what we're talking about on the stream with these data centers trying to take over the farmland and all of
Yeah,
that.
right.
Try
Ask
to
them have they ever been
just
approached.
be active in your community. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
you start
these
getting
are
active.
actual real solutions.
Yeah, that's how. And
And
the thing
I mean,
is, we know
we don't
exactly where
believe
our
in
food
voting.
coming from. Right. We know exactly
Stay in
where
your
our food
local
coming from.
politician's face.
Facts.
Right. Would you say we know about where our food come from? Hell yeah.
Yeah. We know where the source of our food coming from. Have to.
Facts.
And it's straight from the farm to the table. Ain't sitting in no
Right.
goddamn grocery store for for weeks and months at a time. Hell no.
Facts.
A lot of that shit don't sell. They'll go back in the back, repackage that joint up, and bring it right back
Yep.
out and sit it out front. They'll color it
Exactly.
up. Or if it's the meat,
Yep.
they'll color it up and put it right back out there. Y'all know that. Y'all know that's
You
the
ain't
trick
getting
them
nothing fresh from the
supermarkets.
grocery stores.
Right, you know that's the trick them grocery stores be doing. That shit don't sell. They take it in the back, repackage it right back up. You know what I'm saying? Hell no.
And you will feel if you eat natural food, like fresh food from your local
Yeah, you'll
farmers
feel
market, and
satisfied.
you will feel better and you will look better. You'll
Right.
feel better and you will look better. Like seriously. If you literally just ate the food that's grown in your local area, eat fruits and vegetables that's grown in season, and
Right.
eating meat that's grown up the street from you or a couple of miles from you or even a couple of hours from you, it's still healthier than eating that shit that you get from Burger King, Wendy's, and McDonald's, or that shit that's coming from the grocery
Oh,
store.
that shit is not even food, man. I don't even know.
Right.
That shit is like eating play toys out of fucking easy bake oven or some shit like that.
Easy bake oven and some shit.
That's some, yeah, that's the toys like the Happy Meals. They be like, come on. That food tastes like the Happy Meal. The
Eating
toys that come
Play-Doh.
with the Happy Meal, right? Like,
Or
hell
the
nah.
food from them, them fake kitchens that you buy for kids and the plastic
Yeah,
toys come with that shit.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah,
Plastic apples and plastic bananas and shit. Plastic peas. Yeah, it's no
yeah.
different than that.
Yeah, stop eating that shit. Stop eating McDonald's and all that shit. A lot of people, I see a lot of people say they ain't ate there in
And
years. So, but how they still in business? Why they ain't out of business yet? Like, but hey, I guess a lot of people still eat from there. You know, it's cheaper, it's faster. You know, you catch it while you going to work. You need something in the pinch. I wouldn't eat that shit not even in the pinch. Right?
yeah, I'd
God,
rather fast. Rather
yeah,
just fast.
right.
Fasting is actually healthy for you.
I see brothers shopping Asian markets, Caribbean stores, halal,
Right.
ethnic. Yeah, facts. That's what we do. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. That's what we do.
Yep.
We shop
Yep.
with at the
Shopping at
local.
ethnic. Yep. Yep. You shop like if you're in the inner city, shopping at ethnic markets is your best bet. And some
Facts.
cities do have farmers markets. And a lot
Yep.
of time the ethnic folks be at those farmers markets. That's where you
Right.
can find the real fruit and shit at. That's where you can find seeded fruit and all that shit if you go to the ethnic markets. You go to the Asian market, the Caribbean
Yeah.
market. You go there, you can actually find seeded fruit. You can find seeded watermelons,
Yeah.
real mangoes, seeded grapes. You can find all that shit at the ethnic markets.
Facts. And you get that fresh seafood too. You know, a lot of the local seafood places get that fresh seafood, man. They don't get that
Right.
coloring pink, that salmon that they got a color pink and all that shit. Nah,
Right,
they get
right,
the
right.
real deal. They get the real deal. Shit, y'all in Baltimore, y'all got one of the best seafood ports right there. Like Baltimore. Shit. Yeah, like a lot of the farmers markets, like Reading, Pennsylvania, the Reading terminal, John got the Asians and all that in there, or the people that be having the seafood in there. Yeah, they shit is fresh. Yeah, they don't be getting that old dyed up salmon that you got dye pink, or you ain't got the meat where they gotta put a little red 40 in there just to make it look like it's fresh and bleeding, and that shit the supermarket sells horrible. Horrible.
Every once in a while, you able to find something at the supermarket that is actually
Yeah.
somewhat healthy. But most of the
Yeah.
shit in the supermarket is not healthy.
I mean,
Most of it.
like, yeah, like the stuff you get from a market to be like some things that might be like some condiments, or like, but because they be having some brands in there that do sell, that they do sell some brands in there that have natural products or something. So you might catch certain things that you would get from the grocery store, or
Every once in a while.
every once in a while, right? But if you see them meat packs that be like 4 for $30, and all them meat packs that be selling in them certain supermarkets, it's crazy. Look, he always has some bot that come in here and want to troll, and
That's agent.
hey, you got some agent bot that want to come in here and troll because they don't want nobody putting his real information out.
What agency you work for, bot?
For the KKK agency.
He work. Right.
Right.
Kenneth
Yeah.
said
Right.
you gotta read the black label.
Yeah.
If
You
you
gotta
can't
read the
pronounce it,
labels.
don't buy it.
Yeah, because a lot of these packages be having like 15 million ingredients in it, and why do you need to put all that inside of one pack? Like, that's just too many ingredients, man. Them ain't even ingredients. That's that's all chemicals. It's not even real food you eating. Like I said, it's like eating on play toys and shit. Like most your products should have at least maybe 1 or 2, 3 ingredients at the most. Depending on what you buying.
Right. Man, make sure y'all like and share this video, man. Get this information out. And we still, we thank y'all for supporting what we do here. Those of y'all who've been, watching the whole stream. Those of y'all who liked and shared our video. Thank y'all. Those of y'all who support us, like as far as buying stuff from our shop, joining our newsletters and all that, or leaving reviews. We definitely appreciate all of y'all, man.
Facts.
We definitely need to get this information out. I think we're gonna wrap this up.
Yo, subscribe if you haven't yet, and make sure you turn on the notification bell too, because
right.
When we upload or we go live, you'll get the notification, because YouTube be trying to play with us when it comes to the notification. So sometimes you might need to reset the notification too. If you didn't get it, then you might have to click on it, click back off on it, and click back on it again, and click on all notifications. But we appreciate y'all tuning in. And on that note, we'll catch y'all on the next one.
We up out of here, y'all. Peace.
I'm not even gonna lie. The joint pain I deal with every day, it slowed me all the way down. But ever since I started using this right here, Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, everything changed. And within minutes, I feel the difference. Like real relief. clean my whole house without even thinking about the pain. As a nurse, I'm on my feet all day, and this right here helps me get through my entire shift. I can actually enjoy time with my kids now. Go outside, be active, without hurting the whole time. Feels good to just live again. Honestly, if it wasn't for Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, I don't think I'd have the quality of life I have right now.
Discomfort slows you down? Reach for natural relief. Night and Day Hemp's extra strength CBD pain relief balm melts into aching muscles, delivering warmth you can feel. Soothe your body naturally. Feel free to move again. Night and Day Hemp Balm melts away tension so you can enjoy every moment. Feel the difference fast. Real relief, real results. Order now at Night and Day Herbals.